Hey everybody, welcome to my next video. Today in this video we are going to be making the lip balm that is in my book, and this is my artist proof, the author proof, so your copy will not have that line. But here's the book. It is very skinny, but it's chock full of just recipes, just my formulas. There's no fluff in it. It's all good stuff. So today I just want to do a short video. I actually have to make some lip balms, and I wanted to show you just really how easy it is. Once you've assembled all your ingredients, how easy it is to put everything together. Just a few ingredient tips that I wanted to share. You can get everything on Amazon. I actually use coconut oil from Costco, but any coconut oil from the grocery store, Amazon, the health food store, wherever you want to get all of your ingredients. But that's typically where I get mine, is Costco, and then Amazon, and then whatever I can get locally. For the lip balms, this formula will make several lip balms, and of course you can scale it back depending on how many you want to make. I believe that the formula in the book will make 25 lip balms. We'll find out after I'm done with this, and I'll make sure that I put it in the comments. But the lip balm tubes, I get mine from Amazon, and they also make these handy holders that you can actually set all of your lip balms into, and then once everything's melted, you actually just pour it over top of this. Use your scraper to scrape off the top, and then you just pull the lip balms out and you're ready to go. Unfortunately, this pack of lip balm chapstick tubes that I ordered does not fit in my holder, so I have to do it the old way and just hand pour everything in, but that's okay. But I just wanted you guys to know that this is out there. Just be sure that you get canisters or lip balm tubes that will fit into this. That's pretty much it that I'm gonna go over. I do use a kitchen scale. I picked this up on Amazon. This is actually the second one that I've had. My other one just conked out on me, so I ordered the exact same updated model from Amazon. The beeswax that I am using today is the render down beeswax that we made in my last video. Of course, this is actually not enough. It is enough for my lip balm, but it is not enough for any salve and muscle rub that I also want to make today. So I did order beeswax from Amazon because I don't have another local source at the moment to get my supplies from, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with doing that. The other thing that one of the other ingredients that you need is vitamin E oil, and I'm actually going to be using vitamin E gel tabs, vitamins, because I did not have any bulk vitamin E oil, and of course this is fine also. You can just use, I like to just use a little needle to puncture the gel tabs, and then I just squirt the oil. You know, it's just the little things. Just take a little needle, poke it in there. You literally just squirt it in and go by the measurements. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to take the camera off of me, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. I'm literally going to put everything in a glass measuring cup that I just keep in my apothecary that I use for making lip balms and salves. And then the other thing that I use is just a pot of water to act as a double boiler that I'm just going to melt all of the waxes and oils down. And that's really easy. The only other tip I wanted to share was that when you are using beeswax in any of your formulas or any of your creations, it does take longer for the beeswax to melt than any other, harder oil, shea butter, cocoa butter, coconut oil. So the beeswax does take longer to melt, but that also means that it is quicker to solidify once you pull it off of the heat. So what I like to do is, once everything is melted in my cup, I actually let it simmer just a little bit longer. It's not hurting anything. Just simmer it a little bit longer to make sure all the oils, all the butters that you've used are actually at the same temperature, so that when you go to pour everything in, what'll end up happening, if it's not, the beeswax will actually start to harden before anything else will, and you'll end up with it looks like little beads in your salve or your lip balms. There is nothing wrong with that, because you can still use it. It's just more of an aesthetic thing. And then if you're using, if that happens when you're using and making salves or muscle rub or anything else like that, when you actually go to put it in your palm to actually use it on your hands or whatever else, that beaded up beeswax can be a little bit tougher to melt in your hand, so you just have to do a little bit more rubbing. So I just like to let everything melt in my glass a little bit longer than what you probably would think would be needed. And I think that's the last tip. In my book, I give a couple essential oil recommendations. You don't have to use essential oils. I never use fragrance oils or the flavored oils. You certainly can if that's what you want to do. That's just not a personal preference of mine, so I don't do it. But I am probably, today, I'm actually going to be using a little bit of tea tree oil and a little bit of lavender essential oil in my final batch. Just a couple drops, nothing too major. Especially right now, it's winter, and so it's just a little bit extra soothing. It's a little microbial, I can never say that word, with germs and cold sores and things like that happening. So I will probably add that. And I think that's it. Feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. I will be sure to link all the places that you can get my book: Amazon for paperback and the Kindle version, and my website for a PDF version that you can print at home and get started today. So that's it. We're gonna get started. Okay, I've gotten all of my ingredients in my glass measuring jar, and we're just going to let it simmer and melt. I've got my heat right now set on medium, and it may take a while for this beeswax, because you can actually see I ran out of my rendered down beeswax and had to run and get the beeswax chunks that I had ordered off of Amazon. You can always chop this up a little bit more finely and it'll melt quicker. But I'm okay with just doing the chunks. I'm just gonna let it simmer here, and we're just gonna let it all melt. Okay, just a quick little update. It has been sitting in the stove for about 10 minutes, and you can see almost everything is completely, actually everything is completely melted except for that larger chunk of beeswax. So it's almost ready. Just a few more minutes, and then, like I said, just let it sit a few extra minutes. while it's melted. Okay, so everything is melted in my glass. I have put my essential oils in here and I'm still just stirring, and I'm sorry that you really can't see that in the video, but and so next is just to pour it into each tube, and I left my pot of water on the stove still turned on because this mixture will solidify pretty quickly. So if it starts to thicken up on you, if it starts to cool down, just pop it back on the stove and remelt it. And as you start pouring, what I notice is I try to fill it up to the top. Some spilled, that's okay. All right, and so that's it. Okay, so the formula in my book, it is just the formula. And it's done in percentages, so all you have to do is figure out how much total weight that you want to have, that you want to make for the day. My lip tubes should be holding 0.15 ounces of lip balm. So when I did my math, I ended up figuring out, I was actually hoping to make 25. So I factored in, it would be 3.75 would be my total ounces in weight. And then the way that my formulas are done, they're done in percentages. So you take the total weight of how much you want to make, and then figure out each weight per ingredient based off the percentages. So for instance, in this formula, I need 20% of coconut oil. So I took 3.75 and times it by 20% to get my total ounce percentage. So it's very easy to factor in whether you want to make a big batch or a small batch. You can tailor it to your own. Each page has a note section. So I designed my book so that you would take notes. Each page has a section to take notes. This is my copy, and I'm still making notes, and I created all these formulas. So it is definitely to grow with you. So get my book in order to get the full formula. It took me 2 years plus or minus to perfect this formula, and I'm very proud of it, and it's the only thing that I will use anymore. I do not buy anything from the store, organic or otherwise. I only use my lip balm. And what I like about it too is that it's not just for lips. I sometimes get dry patches, especially on my hands, or the psoriasis during the wintertime. It's great to just like a spot treatment. You can definitely tweak your oils and infuse different herbs and whatever suits your skin in the oils to tailor everything to your needs. So if you have any questions, please let me know, and I will be sure to link my book in the comments. All right, till next time.